Shark Chic. Once upon a time, in the crystal-clear waters of the Pacific Ocean, there lived a shark named Steve. Steve wasn't your typical shark. Unlike his fearsome relatives, he was more concerned about his fashion sense than hunting. His dream was to become the ocean's top runway model, and he practiced his best poses in front of a mirror made of polished coral. Steve's obsession with fashion had started when he had watched a documentary about the legendary fashion shows of the human world. Inspired, he decided to reinvent the marine fashion scene. But there was one problem. Steve had no idea how to sew, let alone create oceanic haute couture. Still, he was determined. One sunny morning, Steve swam to the underwater reef where a group of colorful fish were chatting about their latest fashion trends. These fish, known as the aqua divas, had an eclectic sense of style. One wore a sequin tail fin, another sported a shell necklace that jingled melodiously, and the third was draped in seaweed with pearls. "Hey, aqua divas," Steve said, twirling around to show off his newly designed seaweed scarf. "What do you think of my latest creation?" The fish gasped in awe, their gills fluttering with excitement. "Steve, you're a fashion genius. But we've heard rumors of a legendary underwater seamstress who lives in a sunken ship nearby. She's supposed to be able to make the most dazzling outfits." Steve's eyes widened. "A seamstress? Where can I find her?" The fish pointed towards a distant shipwreck covered in barnacles and coral. "She's known as Miss Marlin. She's a bit reclusive, but if anyone can help you with your fashion dreams, it's her." Fueled by determination, Steve swam to the shipwreck, his fins slicing through the water like blades. He entered the wreck, where he found Miss Marlin, a wise old marlin with a long, flowing tail and an air of elegance. "Hello, Miss Marlin," Steve said, attempting to sound as posh as possible. "I'm Steve, the shark with a dream of revolutionizing ocean fashion. Can you help me?" Miss Marlin eyed Steve with curiosity. A shark with fashion ambitions. This should be interesting. What exactly do you have in mind?" Steve explained his vision, gesturing with his fins as he described elaborate designs. Miss Marlin listened patiently, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Well," she said, "I've got just the thing for you. Follow me." She led Steve to a room filled with a treasure trove of fabrics and trinkets, shimmering seaweed, luminous pearls, and shells of every color. Miss Marlin got to work, stitching and weaving with astonishing skill. Days passed, and Steve eagerly awaited the results. When Miss Marlin finally presented her creations, Steve's jaw dropped. She had made him an exquisite ensemble, a glistening suit made of interlocking seashells, a flowing cape of iridescent seaweed, and a crown of starfish. "This is incredible," Steve exclaimed, twirling around in his new outfit. "I feel like a true fashion icon," Miss Marlin smiled. "Now, it's time to showcase your new look. There's an annual underwater fashion gala in a few days. Why not enter it and show the world your style?" When Steve made his grand entrance, the entire room fell silent. He swam down the runway, each fin move perfectly timed, his ensemble catching the light and creating a dazzling display of colors. The crowd watched in awe, their eyes glued to the shark who had managed to turn the ocean into a runway. At the end of the runway, Steve struck a pose, and the room erupted into cheers. Even the crustaceans in the audience clapped their claws in approval. Miss Marlin beamed with pride from the sidelines. That night, Steve was awarded the title of Ocean's top fashionista. He basked in the glory of his newfound fame, enjoying every moment of his success. The aqua divas congratulated him, and even the fish who had once doubted his dreams were now in awe. From that day on, Steve's designs became the talk of the ocean. He continued to collaborate with Miss Marlin, creating ever more dazzling outfits and inspiring sea creatures far and wide to embrace their own unique style. And so the shark who once worried about his fashion sense became a legend in the world of oceanic haute couture, proving that with a little creativity and determination, even a shark could become a star.